Hello, everyone, and welcome to the batch record review and product release process. We have quite a full agenda today. We'll be taking you through pretty much from start to finish when it comes to reviewing batch records and making it through all the way to product release. What we'll go through today is some regulatory requirements for what is required of you when looking at batch records in your manufacturing process. I'll go through step by step what to actually look for. A lot of this information may be, a refresher for you. It's very basic, good documentation and things like that, but it is a good refresher to make sure that as a reviewer, you know what to expect and what actually is expected of you when the FDA are reviewing your batch records, what they're looking for as well. We'll go through some skills and responsibilities of what each reviewer really needs. I'll step through some tools for an effective batch record review that may be helpful and some that I have found to be very successful. We'll also go through how to make sure that your production and your manufacturing operation, those reviewers actually are in line with the quality assurance reviewers. And then lastly, we'll go through how to set up an extensive training plan with your reviewers in order for them to be considered quote unquote qualified to review a record. So when talking about regulatory requirements pertaining to batch records, there are a few organizations that I always like to point to that have a very good outline of what is actually required of a lot of the regulators out there. First and foremost, we can take a look at the World Health Organization. This is the WHO guideline. They are pretty much in line with the FDA and all other markets regulatory requirements, but basically, they say that production and control records should be reviewed. And if you do find any failures of any of the batches, you have to actually make sure that those are thoroughly investigated and documented and reported to management. Once you start the investigation, always look to extend the investigation to any other batches of the same product that may have been associated with this specific failure. This is very important when it comes to perhaps maybe an out of specification result or something of that sort or of that nature. That's when the batch records become very, very important to kind of pour over and look and see if there's any anomalies that you can find with that. Next, what you want to do is the regulatory requirements for the World Health Organization also says that all of this information should be written down. Obviously, in our industry, everything that is done needs to be documented. There's the old adage, "What if it's not documented, it's not done." So make sure that all of this information, when you're investigating an out of specification product or a batch, that's included as well, and it's documented. The root cause and corrective actions will need to be documented in that as well. Our friends at the FDA talk about these types of requirements in the CFR, specifically Section 211.192. They talk specifically about production record review. They say that all drug product production and control records shall be reviewed and approved by the quality unit. The quality unit needs to determine compliance with all of your written procedures before the batch is released or distributed. This is very important because, believe it or not, in some industries that I have been consulting with,